Hey guys, welcome back to Authentically Chelsea. This is episode 2, and I just wanted to say, first off, thank you guys so much for your support and the sharing, the likes, the subscribing, everything that you guys are doing with the YouTube channel, with Spotify, even just your personal notes and approaches that you guys have shared with me. So I appreciate you. I want to start that off with saying that I love you guys so much. Especially the people who've been rocking with me over the years, and to see how we've grown and how we've blossomed, and to sum that all up in 16 minutes of episode 1 was a lot, right? It was a lot to say, here's this girl who went through depression, and these are the things that brought about the old name, right? These are the things that now produce what the new name means as far as branding. But I really, as much as I said and as much as I shared, I have to also say that we didn't really dive, right? And that's what episode 2 is. Let's take a dive. Let's go into one of the things that really shifted not only my perspective of who I was as a woman and my brand and all of those different things, but just who I needed to become in order to carry out the purpose that was in my life. So let's go there, okay? This is gonna shake the boat. I'm just gonna tell you, we're gonna dive in and it's gonna get real fast. And I'm okay with that, okay? How do I want to word this? Holy Spirit, give me the words. I had to take the cape off. I had to take the cape off. That sounds so cliche, right? And it's absolutely the truth. That especially as Black women, as women in general, but as Black women, we get into who we are in our roles, who we are and in that strength, and we're applauded for that strength, right? But the thing is, that strength is heavy. That strength is tiresome. Not to say that we should be weak, because we should never be weak. I encourage strength in women all the time. But what I also recognize is that carrying the load of being superwoman, quote unquote, it breaks down different layers in who you are authentically. Because you're so used to performing, showing up, figuring out these things. And you're not allowed the privilege to just be. So for me, we'll go back to 2018, sitting at the park and crying with just that one friend and sharing with her the things that were bothering me in my home, because my marriage was failing. We had already decided to go our separate ways. But financially, and this is a big part, financially, I was not able to really take a step out of that situation. And so we were still under the same roof. And that's where toxicity bred, was because here I am literally putting this mask on to the world that me and my ex-husband, or my ex-husband and I, were very much so in a healthy and happy home, because you saw us live under the same roof. We weren't even sleeping in the same bed, but because to society, I had to show up. I had to pretend. I had to stomach the thought of anyone even knowing the truth. And you know that little saying that they say, what goes on in my house stays in my house. That's okay at times. But there comes a point in your life where you literally have to find those safe spaces. And you have to go there and you have to take your cape off. I'm going to say it again. Find the safe spaces. Go there. Take your cape off. And I know everybody is like, okay, we hear this all the time. You don't have to walk around with armor on all the time. True. But I'm going to give you some things that worked for me then and that are still working for me now. Again, shaking the boat. I am not a good mother. I'm going to say that again. I'm going to let it sit. I am not a good mother. And I'm okay with that. I am perfectly fine with that. Because you know why? I had to be a great, and an amazing Chelsea in order to be any other role in my life. So we're going to start at the one that society tells us is the most important, which is motherhood. And it is important. It deserves all your energy at all times. Well, I'm not going to say that it deserves it. I'm going to say that it requires all of your energy at all times. The issue is so many people dive so hard into being a good mother that they forget to be a good them. And so I'll say, I'm not a good mother. Okay? I'm a mother that does what I have to do, and I go to any level for my children. And people who personally know me know that. But I am perfectly fine without carrying the badge of being a good mother. What do I get? What award does life present you for being a good mother? What award do you get for being a good wife? You don't. That's the answer. You don't receive an award. There's no accolade. There's none of that. It's only the egotistical stroke of I produce this product or this byproduct of who I am. And I help bring this to life. An amazing accomplishment. I have 3. I completely understand. But I also understand, I also recognize that they are going to grow up. They are going to become their own people. They have their own opinions of life, even right now, being 10 and 9 years old. So I have to do what's best for Chelsea at all times. Now, with me doing what's best for Chelsea, they're going to receive what's best for them as my children. If I don't take that time to myself to work out, to journal, these are just some things that I do in my personal time, to journal, to work out, to take a hot bubble bath, to go get a massage, to plan a self-date. If I don't do those things, if I don't fill my cup and then pour from the saucer, not even the cup, but the sauce, the overflow. If I don't do those things, then I'm not good to anyone. Not to a man, not to my clients, not to my friends, my mother, my father, any of my family, right? So I want to encourage you to take off your cape. Truly put the cape in the closet, okay? It's going to take some time, especially if you've been wearing that cape for a long time. And I will say, I wore my cape for quite some time. I felt like I wore my cape before I even birthed my children, because even going through pregnancy, there were scary moments that I just felt like I wasn't allowed to cry. I wasn't allowed to say I'm sad. And honestly, as a Black woman, we're not always angry. We're not always bitter. I know y'all hear that. But I'm going to tell you, we don't have the verbiage sometimes to just say, I'm overstimulated. I'm overwhelmed. I'm just disappointed. And I think when you learn the verbiage of what it is that you need to strive in those places, and for others to be able to hear your heart, not just your words, but your heart, you are more likely to receive what it is that you need to get through those hard moments. So again, safe spaces, create those. If you don't already have a safe space, if that safe space is just you, your pen, your journal, and God, go there. Go there, write out whatever it is that you need to write out. Feel what you need to feel, sis. Know that you are met. Those needs are met. They are very much so valid. When you cry in the car and the kids are in the backseat and you're in the front and that tear comes out that one eye, feel that moment. Okay? I know sometimes we have to push pause on our emotions, but it's also very, very important that our children not only learn who we are as parents, but as humans. And so I often tell my children, I'm sad right now. I'm disappointed right now. I'm overstimulated right now. Or I'll even go so far to tell them, I don't have the capacity for what it is that you're asking me for in this moment. I need 10 minutes. And I take those 10 minutes with love. I do. And it's all about really setting the tone in your home to be able to receive what it is that you need. It's not easy. It is not easy, especially starting out. And I had little babies. But even if it was sitting in the car while they played in the front yard and I just took that second just to breathe, not pick up the phone and look at social media because that won't help, but to truly breathe in those moments and say, hey, I need this 5 minutes of uninterrupted time. So that brings me into my other thought, okay? And my other question to you. Who are you and uninterrupted? Who are you when the kids go to bed? Who are you when, literally, there is nothing else going on? Dinner's cooked, husband's great. If you're single, that the phone's not ringing, that the dates aren't planned. Who are you then? When you take time to yourself, who are you? What do you order when you go out to dinner by yourself? What movie do you watch when no one else is crying for Frozen or Disney Channel or anything else? Who are you then? Because that's who's going to carry you for the rest of your life. That's where you need to go. Go into that space of really figuring out who you are when no one else is demanding anything else from you. Who are you outside of the roles that you have? Outside of you, if you had to describe who you are, and you can't name motherhood, wife, employee, friend, sister, what would you name? How would you describe yourself? That's a very, very hard question. And it once was a question that I avoided because I didn't have an answer to it. And I recognized my clients didn't either. We were all literally fighting to figure out who we were. And in those moments of finding out who we were, we developed that we're still evolving. We're still ever changing. But the core of who you are authentically needs to be something that you latch onto, that you love and that you nourish, that you don't let anyone take from you. And then how do you feed that person? What do you do to continue to allow yourself to thrive in these spaces? Like I said, self-dates, journaling, working out, taking a walk at the park, doing lunch by yourself, writing in your journal. I have so many journals. It is unreal. And I am okay with that. I have digital journals. I have paper to pen. Just whatever works for me in that space and whatever I can grab that feels safe enough for me to take that moment, write down the things I need to take down and write down and maneuver. And sometimes I'm just game planning. And I'll share another secret. My bathroom mirror and a dry erase board, they best friends, baby. We are writing down the week. We're writing down the important things I have to do, but I'm also writing a special message to myself because I deserve to love on me before I get to anyone else. And that cape that you carry, this is another point. This is another thing that I wrestled with for so long. I had to not only divorce my husband, but I had to divorce the validation of what it is that everybody else thought I should be like. I had to divorce the approval and the wanting of that approval from anyone else. I'm talking validation from even my own family. Approval of who they thought I should be as a mother, as a friend, as a makeup artist. No. I had to literally step into a place where I don't give a damn. I know to the core of me, I know that authentically, whether I'm in a bad space or a good space, whether I'm going through a trial or whether I'm going through a tribulation, that I am a good human. That I am genuine enough in my approaches, that sometimes my intentions are even misunderstood, but they're always pure. And because I know that about me, I'm less likely to defend what the hell you care and what the hell you think. Even sometimes people are not saying things verbally to me, but the look on their face when I walk into the room is enough. And I'm here to tell you, It doesn't stop. The more you discover who you are as a woman, the more those looks come. Because you know why? Now your attitude inside matches and starts representing and showing up on the outside. And that energy and that light that you have is shining so bright that it's irritating other people. The beauty in this is that ain't a you problem, baby. That's strictly on them for them, and they can deal. They can absolutely deal with that. You don't have to respond. You don't have to shrink. And when I tell you, I am the person that struggles so much with the thought of not shrinking. I thought shrinking was accommodating other people. Well, I don't want to, girl, please. I do. And I'm not doing it nasty. I'm just being honest. That I, in this space at 36 years old, as a grown woman and as a mother of 3 children, if I walk into the room and you're uncomfortable, that is no longer my problem. And I'm okay with that. So, in a nutshell, I want to empower you to sit with a couple of these thoughts. Who are you uninterrupted? Challenge yourself to divorce the thought of even wanting the approval from other people. And then also, who are you outside of the roles that you have? Really get intimate with yourself. And like I always tell my clients, I don't care what I think the makeup looks like, it's how you feel. So if you don't feel good about yourself when you get out this chair, then it doesn't matter what I did on the outside. So we need to dig deep. We need to purge, pull out those things. Give yourself grace, love on yourself, and truly hug yourself. People think I'm crazy all the time. I'll be walking around just, and I'm hugging Chelsea because I'm with Chelsea 24/7. And she carries a lot. And she does it graciously because I do my best to love on her. Now that I know what it looks like when I didn't love on her. Some of you can recall, and maybe I'll dig up pictures, that extra weight that I had on my body, the skincare issues that I went through, even just seeing peace that rests on my shoulders. And when I say, the Bible tells us peace that surpasses all understanding, the peace that I possess now, it surpasses my own, like literally I don't even understand how I can be peaceful. And it is still things that are going on in my life. But that's okay. Because the one thing that I know I have is I have my faith, my belief, and I have myself. And now I got my community of girls that are gonna come and rock with me. And my fellas too, because I got y'all messages and I appreciate y'all. And guys out there, this can be flopped. This can be flipped to customize towards the men too. Because outside of being a father and outside of being a dad, who are you? When you're not with the bros, what are you struggling with? Take the mask off. Take the cape off. You don't have to be Superman all the time. Especially for my African American community. It's okay to be vulnerable and it's okay to be intimate. And before I go, I had a client here recently ask me, how did it feel? She watched episode 1. Thank you for your support. But she asked, how does it feel now to step into a place that is so transparent with my viewers and with my clients? And I had to really sit with that and say, I've always been, if you know me, very transparent. There's never been anything that I just really shied away from talking about. But one thing that I did struggle with was intimacy. And I'll say this, like I told her, it was hard for me to show the world who Chelsea was when I didn't know who Chelsea was. So it's these steps, it's these moments of truth, of just calling myself out and saying, girl, you really cared about people and caring about you getting a divorce. When half of those people were sleeping in separate houses, but online taking pictures together. And you're just in a situation where you're having to divorce your spouse because of purpose. You know, there was thankfully no physical abuse. There was no adultery and all these other things. It was literally a dog fight of either you're going to become this woman as an ex-wife, or you're going to stay a wife and never reach your fullest potential. And that's the truth on on that season. And I'm grateful now. I'm so grateful. I was grateful then, but now to see it all come together, my gratitude is even more than I can verbalize. So again, get honest with yourself. Be intimate with you. Because I can sit on this camera and in this audio and say, hey, these are my truths. But I really want us to take a dive into who we are and to say, we don't have to carry that cape. The cape can go in the closet. Mine, I took a blowtorch, okay? I don't care to be strong all the time. Now, I could be logical and I can be, resourceful, but I'm not superwoman. I'm Chelsea. Thank you for tuning in for episode 2 of Authentically Chelsea. I hope to hear back from y'all in the comments, and I really hope to dive in and to help us get to a place of healing and to also a place of understanding one another and the things that we go through, and to really shed light on the fact that we're all going through some of the same things. I love you, and I mean it.